Hi everyone, this is Nikki Yu. It's a Thursday and you're watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It is May 20, 2021, and let's begin. Okay, so it's one day after the so-called Black Wednesday by cryptocurrency enthusiasts. And in my view, well, it's bound to happen. Those stocks, or rather those cryptos, have gone more than 10x in a quarter. You cannot actually assume that it will continue going higher. So with a slew of bad news and with a slew of cryptocurrencies crashing over Elon Musk tweets, if one tweet can send the stock or crypto down a lot, that means that it is not that sustainable. And of course, the term here is that if it weren't actually 10x or 20x in a quarter, the drop would not have happened. But it was, and therefore, even until today, even if it's still crashing, I wouldn't be so bullish in buying. It could actually fall further, and I'd argue perhaps BTC at about $27,000, perhaps Ethereum at about $800. Sure, it can rally from here, but how high can it go? Your Binance can go perhaps $400, $500, but you think that could be sustained? Perhaps no. No matter how much you are bullish on them, it's time to actually take profits. And where would that profits go? I'd argue that one of the ways that those cryptocurrency billionaires, millionaires are going to cash in is they're going to transfer some of their assets into the stock market. And in the stock market, I'd like to share in today's report, JD.com. We're going to talk about JD.com. They have announced their first quarter 2021 results. Last night, China's leading tech-driven e-commerce company, it's actually number 2, ticker symbol 9618, and it's also listed in the NASDAQ as JD.com, has been transforming to become the leading supply chain-based technology and service provider. They're announcing their first quarter highlights. Revenues for the first quarter was 203 billion yuan. Yes, you heard me right, 200 billion yuan. That's $30 billion in a quarter, an increase of 39% from the first quarter of 2020. Guys, when you're listening to $30 billion of revenues in a quarter, that's approximately the entire market cap of your Dogecoin. That's also the entire market cap of your half the market size of Airbnb, the entire market cap of Roblox, the entire market cap of Unity. So that's one quarter of JD.com's revenues. Okay, that's also one quarter revenues, by the way, of YouTube, in case you're wondering. YouTube generates the same type of revenues. Okay, so net service, okay, but I think YouTube makes more. YouTube makes something like 40 to 50 billion dollars, not 30 billion. Okay, so net service revenues.
Share that screen.
Sorry. Okay, let's share screen. Actually, I'm sharing my screen. Ulit. Sharing my screen. Okay, can you see my JD? This one? It's fine already. So you're seeing revenues of JD.com is $30 billion. You're also seeing income is $0.3 billion. This is a lower income. Why? Because operating margin of JD Retail was 4% compared to 3.7%. Non-GAAP income from operations. What did they do here? Why did net income fall despite the revenues rising? A few things to note. Okay, the annual active customer accounts is now 500 million customers as of March 31, 2021. That is an increase of 30%. In fact, JD is in its 18th year anniversary, and they're delivering another strong quarter of growth, said Richard Liu, the chairman and CEO of JD.com. Since our establishment, JD's focus has set us apart. We're proud to have 500 million active users relying on JD's broad selection of quality products, best-in-class customer services, increasingly the partner of choice for millions of businesses who benefit from our advanced supply chain infrastructure, reducing costs and boosting operating efficiency. As our strong growth momentum last year continued in the first quarter of 2021, we are very encouraged by the diversification of our revenue streams and increasing contribution on our service revenues. Okay, so technology and innovation. Business highlights. All right, so JD Retail. We're going to talk about Louis Vuitton launched an innovative cooperation in April. The groundbreaking cooperation model is connecting Louis Vuitton directly with JD's high-quality customers. This is their white chauffeur service, providing them with access to the brand while further enhancing the luxury shopping experience on JD.com. So amazing that right now, the high-end clientele. So I've heard that in Amazon, the typical average user shopping ticket is just $100. Now you know how much Louis Vuitton bag costs. Something in the realm of from $10,000 to $20,000 to even more than that. So, or sometimes like maybe the cheap ones is about $6,000. But you can see that the average ticket spent in JD is significantly higher with this Louis Vuitton partnership. In the first quarter, JD has also started new partnerships with a wide assortment of luxury brands. John Lobb, the luxury shoes and boots brand under Hermes, recently launched flagship stores in JD.com. Some brands even went further to partner with JD.com in terms of supply chain services. Italian brand Marni not only launched a flagship store in JD.com, but also adopted a customized one-stop solution offered by JD.com, covering marketing, technology, supply chain management. Within its service, they can purchase directly from Marni's inventory with products delivered by JD Logistics. In response to the appeal during this year's Spring Festival, JD Retail collaborated with JD Logistics to provide non-stop delivery during the Spring Festival for the 9th consecutive year, launching a series of JD's New Year Shopping Festival. This is a citywide shopping collaborating with JD Taotia, which is, of course, Dada, coordinating inventory, logistics, and employee resources in order to provide uninterrupted services during the Spring Festival holiday. Through a cooperation with well-known chain retailers, JD.com just provided residents in more than 1,400 countries, districts, and cities across the country with a 1-hour delivery service for products across all categories. You've also created a hassle-free shopping experience on a third-party platform offering delivery time and price guarantees, free pickup or returns, as well as flash refunds. Okay, JD Home also entered with a cooperation with Honor, Xiaomi, Oppo, OnePlus, Realme, and other cell phone brands, collaborating on innovative omni-channel marketing initiatives, including in retail chain stores. JD Home has already achieved key account status with major cell phone brands, supporting the omni-channel approach and the offline shopping experience. JD Home provides brands with additional channels, connecting with customers, accelerating growth through omni-channel sales, user services, and event marketing. So basically, it's all in one. Furniture, cell phones, electronics. So you've got the Best Buy here. You've got the Wayfair here inside. You've got the Farfetch here with JD. JD.com's recent announcement increased its stake in Dada, marks a tighter collaboration under the omni-channel strategy. For those who are new in the channel, we've made a coverage on Dada, and we think that it's actually something that is worth your portfolio, especially now that it's at $23. It should be rallying to $30 in the short term. So Dada will have the full support of JD.com, strategically undertaking JD's local on-demand retail and delivery businesses. For those who aren't aware, Dada and Walmart are also working hand in hand. So JD.com is now working to provide with its 500 million annual active customers an enriched coverage in demand retail and delivery, accelerating digital transformation and economic enterprises. Now we know that JD is a conglomerate. It has a healthcare here. They're not just an e-commerce platform for the shoes, the bags, but also medical supplies. So you can buy pharmacy. So it's a pharmacy. It's like in the Philippines, we'll say Mercury Drugstore online. So it's like a teledoc. Sorry, it's a good RX inside. And it's actually also a teledoc, by the way. JD Health announced the launch of the Rare Diseases Care Project, which is a JD Pharmacy Rare Disease Care Center dedicating funds for patients with rare diseases. In collaboration with partners from all relevant fields, project leverages JD supply chain to create a one-stop solution to provide additional financial assistance as well as supporting diagnosis, treatment, and access to medication. JD Logistics and Tencent Smart Retail jointly produced and announced the launch of the JD Tencent Cloud Warehouse, integrating with JD Logistics Cloud Warehouse technologies as well as Tencent Smart Retail, smart retailing analysis technology. providing integrated solutions, including business leads, branding, marketing, as well as logistics services to merchants and warehousing companies. In other words, it's the Shopify effect. They've got the warehouse solution and the cloud solution, something that Alibaba also does. So because JD doesn't have a cloud, they have to partner with Tencent Cloud. And of course, they won't partner with Alibaba. That's their competition. So, okay, JD Cloud Warehouse is now leveraging the partnership serving social and live streaming e-commerce, further opening JD Logistics integrated supply chain capabilities for diverse commercial use cases. JD Logistics is operating over 1,000 warehouses, aggregate gross floor area of 21 million square meters, including warehouse space of cloud services under the JD Logistics open warehouse platform. A few more highlights. Ting Tong Digits Technology is JD Digits. It's officially renamed as Ting Tong Technology Holding Company. This subsidiary will transfer JD's cloud and AI businesses. Certain assets will be in JD Technology in exchange for JD Technology shares. It's going to be spun off. So JD.com's equity interest is going to approximately be 42%, and the company is deconsolidating all the operating results of cloud and AI businesses under the completion of this transaction, continuing to focus on its core competency, synergistic businesses to better serve its customers. In other words, guys, if the US has FAMGA, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, what you have in China is what I'd say the JX bat. J means JD, X means Xiaomi, B means Baidu, A means Alibaba, and T means Tencent. I felt that JX Bat sounds nice because it sounds like Joker and Batman, Joker times Batman. So that will help you understand that, yes, Chinese companies right now have fallen 40% from its peak, and yet it's actually significantly growing. So in fact, these are conglomerates. You can buy just 5 companies and have about 800 companies inside. So really, the trillions of wealth to be unlocked in China is just simply the JX Bat. Okay, operational metrics. You've got over 310,000 employees. That compares to about 400,000 employees in Amazon, I think. Or 350 plus 100, I think 450,000 employees already in Amazon. Now, for the first quarter, the same. 200 billion yuan, cost of revenues, blah, blah, blah. Let's go straight to the highlights of this quarter. So you can see it's a conglomerate. It's not just an e-commerce company. It's not just a logistics company. Let's go for their financial highlights. Okay, fragmented retail market, the robust shift online. So you're seeing a lot of customers like Louis Vuitton work with JD because they have the chauffeur service. So it's not like it's a very expensive bag. Of course, JD knows how to prioritize these types of customers. So it's going to be there via chauffeur and via car, via limousine. So robust growth in China retail. How JD demonstrated that they can handle luxury is well loved by how Hermes and Louis Vuitton trust them. So therefore, I would argue that that $30 billion is going to grow further. $30 billion is how much growth the revenue. Okay, let's go here. First and foremost, you have to understand that China's retail size is in the realm of 40 trillion. Heard it right, $40 trillion just divided by 6. It's about $7 trillion economy. That is in 2020. And this is expected to grow in the next 10 years, definitely. So at least 10% growth. You're seeing already in JD, 30% growth so far. Take a look at the trillions of retail market size. It's now 11 trillion yuan, and it's growing to about 15 trillion in just 3 years from now. Increasing online penetration rate, the more penetrated it is, the more people are already fixated to just having online loyalty customer base is great. 500 million customers means 500 million spending at least. Let's assume 500 million customers spends $1,000. That's $500 billion automatically. If you can grow that $1,000 ticket spend to $2,000, then you've got that $1 trillion in sales. So this is an amazing statistic. 500 million users. That's basically double the size of the entire America. Because America is 300 million. So when Amazon tells you, well, they covered everything, well, this is actually double the Amazon effect. Okay, highly fragmented so far. This is China, and then this is US. Actually tells you how huge JD.com is. Take a look at the top 10 listed retailers. This notice they are the biggest, but they're also growing the strongest. Versus example, VIP.com. That's why in China, we don't actually partner with the small ones. Partner with the biggest. Alibaba Small and JD.com with JD Retail. Top 10 listed retailers in the US, Amazon.com is growing 30%. JD.com is also growing like that. Big gets bigger and bigger. Okay, financial and operational highlights, strong revenue growth. In last year, you're actually growing 40% CAGR, 39% growth quarter on quarter, year on year. So far, this is poised to hit at least $1 trillion in this year, or if not this year, then next year. So in last 5 years, it's 181 billion yuan. That means by 2025, you're hitting at least 10x or 1.8 trillion. With this type of growth momentum, you're getting a very good company, well-managed, blue chip of the blues. Net product revenues breakdown. All right, 650 billion yuan is almost always. Look, general merchandise revenues, a big portion of that is electronics and home appliance. What are the large ticket spends? Of course, electronics like a laptop or a cell phone, or a home appliance like a TV. Where when you're buying like a Xiaomi related vacuum cleaner or a wearable from Xiaomi. So that's a huge thing on the JD retail side. Versus example, buying a ball pen or just a bag. Net service revenues breakdown, take a look. 76% and 30%. You've heard people discuss, oh, I love Shopee, oh, I love Lazada. What you want to understand here is that JD.com is good in the luxury market. Look at the sales. In Toto, what's nice about it is that they capture so many customers, but those customers are all spending how much? The ticket sales is small versus the ticket sales here by JD.com. That's why you can really think that, wow, it's $1 trillion in sales in one. How much is that? Just divided by 7. That's approximately $200 billion. Divide by 6 point something. Diversified businesses in a wide spectrum of sectors. Retail, that's of course the biggest one. Logistics, and then the new businesses. They're trying to enter JD property. Of course, they're trying to enter, I think, also the grocery business. And they're also trying to enter healthcare, which is the pharmaceutical business. Okay, long-term profitability improves with scale. Look, the margins are going to 4%. It used to be just 2%. The driver of profitability is, of course, economies of scale from 1P business over the fast growth from their advertising service businesses as well. Robust cash flow generation. Yes, 40 billion yuan 2020. Right now, they can handle 37 billion yuan in terms of cash flow in the first quarter. Free cash flow is growing. Cash flow characteristics, developing those properties as a long-term cash flow positive businesses. They've got a lot of warehouses, so they're probably going to have those warehouses as a property itself. Unaudited selected financial data, 200 billion yuan in the first quarter. So let's assume it's 200 times 4 is 800 billion yuan for the year. If it grows another 30%, that means $1.2 trillion. Sorry, 800 times 1.3, it's about additional 1 billion at 200 billion. What's that? See, 1 trillion yuan next year. Okay, supplemental financial information. Really strong growth. If you just compare first quarter 2020, they had 390 million. In first quarter 2021, it's 500 million or additional 100 million customers accounts. That's amazing. You actually grow 100 million in a year. Well, look no further. It's JD. It's like, wow. Isn't that wow? Isn't that impressive? Yeah, it is impressive. And the free cash flow, therefore, went from 15 billion yuan to 28 billion yuan. Best-in-class fulfillment capabilities, 1,000 plus warehouses, 21 million square meters of gross floor area. They have more than 200,000 last mile delivery personnel and almost all counties and districts in China. Last mile delivery, when it comes to that, number one is JD. Of course, don't forget about Alibaba too. So hope that you learned something today, and look no further. We think the JD.com bottomed out at about $67, $66. Right now, last night it opened 67.5. It went to a high of 71. And the low of the year is 52-week low, $49. That's never happened. Actually, over the last 6 months, that is the lowest already. So the lowest was last week. During that time, it was about $66. So with that type of growth, the market cap of JB is just $110 billion. It only sells for a cheap PE ratio of 14 times. And guys, as you've heard, free cash flows is great. So $1 trillion, let's assume, okay, how much is $1 trillion? $1 trillion in RMB in USD. That's approximately 155 billion. So you're buying JD today at 40% lower than the sales of next year, which makes it so cheap. Blue chip, look no further. This is an auto buy. So you really have one of the great companies right now in a great spot, while everyone is concerned about growth stocks, inflation. That is just a distraction. That is an entry for you who has no Philippine app. If you're a Filipino, you don't have a JD.com in your portfolio, put it here right now, tonight. Okay, some commentary. Hello from Toronto. Which crypto is a good buy? Well, you'll see the bottom for cryptocurrencies, perhaps 50% lower from here, so not yet. No need to buy yet. Let's wait for it to settle down 80% lower from its peak. As commodity prices are rising, would you invest in corn, wheat, and soybeans in this inflationary period? I'm actually looking to invest in wheat ETF. So food security. I prefer to invest in food security, not necessarily in the commodities. So food security stocks, I've been pushing Agrify in their farming. It's very cheap compared to what it does. People are also, of course, investing in a lot of tractors. They've probably invested already in John Deere tractor supply, or buying those Scott Miracle Grow, CF Industries, Nutrien. Those seem to be a better job. I'm not really sure about the wheat ETF, but I think that your bullish case on food prices is fine. But I'd rather go for the food security providers. So that's how I'll view that. I like solar, secular trend. So far last night, I saw that solar is actually bottomed out. Actually, since last week, you've seen that Shinko solar went up, sun power went up, sunrun went up. But in the next 3 months, I also know that every time these solars go hot, let's say they go up 50%, you'll get a seller. So I would assume that sun power has a seller at $27, $30. So expect Enphase rallying last night 6%. Good job. Actually, Enphase was rallying from $120 to as high as $136. I'd say that we are steering some of the shorts here. We would actually see. Let's see whether this $138, this prior support, which will become a resistance. Let's see how high Enphase goes. But I bought some here at $120. I bought some at 120, 127, seeing that support. It has already fallen. Well, I'm not sure if it will fall to $90, but assuming that the trajectory of growth stocks falling 60%, after, of course, an 800%, that's why I think it's normal. You'll see some profit taking perhaps here at 140 to 150, and then two things could happen: either double here at 110 or lower lows next 6 months. So in the next 3 months, here's my prognosis. Why is that going up and going down? It's because, as I said, this is a bullish trend, and this bullish trend needs to shake out all the latecomers. Just like crypto, they have to shake out all the latecomers. Usually, the shakeout can happen 60% down from its peak, or in this case, actually, let's assume you're right. It's 110 is the low. It's 50%. I think like the large caps, generally speaking, 50% is fine. That's why for JD.com, I think this is already low. It's already fallen 38%, whereas the other partner, which is a smaller firm, which is Dada, has already fallen, take note, 70%. So in terms of crypto, just answering the question, if you think that BTC will perhaps bottom out at 50%, which is from $64,000 to $32,000, you would assume that Ethereum would fall something around 70% lower from its peak. So let's assume just the simple stuff. Like the BTCs, the Ethereum, the Binance. 70% lower or 80% lower is about $800 or below that for. So the question of, can I buy crypto now? No. This is still what? 10x from last year. Ethereum at 2.6 is what? This was like, if you were buying around July 2020, that was about $260 here. So you got a lot of froth. It still is frothy. And what I know with companies that are up, well, in this case, it's not a company, but a speculative asset, 10x, 20x are rarely going to be sustainable. And the reason why it's not sustainable has nothing to do with their fundamentals. It's because people will definitely make profit. So for solar, in the next few months, expect choppy market. You'll have sellers because people will still sell $30 on power. They'll sell that. Sunrun at $50, they'll sell that. So expect for solar, yeah, it will get sold. Sunrun here at $50 will get sold. Any 20% rallies here will be sold. Yes, people would buy here and they'll sell it there. So expect choppy markets for solars in the next 3 months. Would you prefer buying 9618 over JD US? Well, ticker symbol JD. I prefer buying JD.com because I'm just more familiar. But I guess there are, it's dual listed. It should be the same. I would argue some people are buying at 300 and right now it's at 280. It's still low, no? So it's all really bottom. I think this has bottomed already. You'll see a choppy action. Perhaps people would sell here at 300. The prior support becomes a further resistance. But in the next 3 months, you've got a great company. So people will actually bargain hunt here. It's a 15% area. And then eventually, if you're really long-term, let's see 2 years from now, I do see JDS times 3 from here. So 250 to 750. Determine your risk tolerance, determine your time frame, but whichever you want. JD.com is a great company. For those who are buying JD.com, I usually teach people to buy it via eToro and IBKR. You'll see that I have also, let me show you my eToro account. I've got Enphase, I've got China Southern, I'm long Twitter, I'm long Lyft, Disney, Uber, Xpeng. I'm long Pan National Gaming, Delta Airlines, NVIDIA, Alibaba, Boeing Airlines. I'm also Boeing. I'm also bullish on Tesla, Nano Dimensions, SunPower, Bed Bath & Beyond, Teladoc, JD, Spotify, Zillow. If you're wondering why is it down 25% in my cost on JD, 75 and the $70, because this is a 5x lever. I figured that, hey, if I'm bullish, I'm just going to lever this up. So yeah, I'm buying JD.com. And in fact, tonight I'll buy this at $70 below. Seeing those numbers, I think that you'll make 10% in the year for like 5x lever. That means you'll make 50% in just a month. So I think like from a short-term perspective and a long-term perspective, you've got great ways to make money on JD and Alibaba. Actually, the JXBAT. So remember that, the JXBAT, JD, Xiaomi, Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent. Take a look at what's happened in Xiaomi, 1810. 1810 is actually higher lows. It's now $27.40. This is because people are bullish on their Xiaomi cars, right? And then the Xiaomi wearables and the Xiaomi phones, of course. Take note what's happened with Baidu. Great numbers, but people still sold them anyhow. It's down already 50% from its peak. I like Baidu. I like JD. I also like Baba. So go ahead and buy these. These are the Chinese fan gas that will make you 200 to 300% if you wait 3 years. With the discounts right now, you have no reason, no excuses. Even if you have only $1,000, you can open an eToro account overnight. So go ahead. Actually, for all the Filipinos out there who are not diversified globally, you should diversify. It's not for yourself. It's for the welfare of your children. So really learn, especially those who are under 30 years old. Let me give you a statistic. The US markets, like the S&P 500, if you're just buying the index names, you're going to go up 10% in the average gain of S&P 500 is 10 to 11% for the last 50 years. There was a crash, a crisis, a recession, a depression, whatsoever. Every time you buy, you especially discounts like this. These are the blue chips. You'll make 2x, 3x your money, even in JD.com. So don't waste that $1,000, even if you only have $500. Your salary, we always tell you, put 25% of your salary into the stock market. And I'm talking not just any stock, talking about the companies like the JX Bank. Because if you do, I'll tell you what, you will not work for money. Money will work for you. I think I said here on my Twitter account, go to my Twitter account, this is my profile, Faces Trader. I said that you have to invest because if you don't, you will work all the rest of your life. So I've bought some Chinese airlines because the Chinese travel demand is very strong. And yeah, remember this, guys. Building wealth is not working your ass off. When you earn $1,000 every month, deploy $250 in your account. Whatever that is, whether it's Enphase, whether it's solar, whether it's wearables. Building wealth is building assets that will appreciate over time. You heard me right. Which company in China makes 1 trillion yuan in a year? Well, in sales, that's JD.com. So, of course, Alibaba also does the same. You will make money while sleeping. I promise you, if you know how to invest. Just earn more, invest more. Once you invest enough, money will never be a question, period. That money that you earn from stocks or those who made money on crypto, I tell you guys already, if you haven't sold, you should take profit. Put that money already in a house. I mean, it's a house. You can perhaps buy a house already with your crypto holdings. Your 100,000 pesos is a million. Okay, maybe you can't buy a 1 million peso house, but that is an investment towards an Airbnb. Oh, by the way, this is what we've been doing. Yes, last night, I've bought Airbnb at $130. Great company. I think that in US, masks off, people are traveling. So really, that means everyone can make money in the best companies of the world. Don't you like Brian Chesky? You know, I don't care if 130 it goes 120 or $100. I think in the short term, people are so thinking, no, it's expensive, la la la. Think about it. This is the opportunity to travel, revenge travel for the next 6 months to 12 months. And people are going to use what? Yes, some of them will use luxury hotels like Marriott, but the majority of people will like to use Airbnb for their accommodation. So you have got a lot of great companies. I bought actually 8 reopening stocks. Airbnb, Ecom. Yeah, I bought this one last night. It was 30. I think I bought at the open. So what was the open of Ecom? About $38, 38 something. It was 31. So great job for this is why do I like this? Because everyone in China, this is their Airbnb, it's Ecom. So guys, as long as you know what you're buying, you will be confident and nobody can slow you down. Last but not the least, I forgot to say, yes, we'll discuss this news article. Zoom announced a new platform for virtual events. This is going to be a platform for both in-person and virtual attendance. Zoom events anticipates a post-pandemic world where consumers will want to hold on to the flexibility and convenience that digital platforms have offered. This is what I was telling my friend. I was saying, you know, next time there's a birthday party, but let's say my friends are in Singapore and I'm in the Philippines. How could they attend my birthday party? They don't have to fly anymore. They can just Zoom online. Or let's say I have a wedding. Will they have to travel? Let's say they're from China. They don't want to go to the Philippines. It's an online and offline alternative. So I think like the majority of weddings, the majority of birthdays, the majority of occasions will be an omni-channel approach. Just like how, you know, omni-channel, we've got the department store, we still want to, you know, touch physically that bag. But if we know what we're buying, you can also just online shop. So that's the world that we will live in. It's not the retail apocalypse, but it's actually an omni-channel, an evolution wherein you can go to your department store. And actually, I forgot to say, yes, we're bullish on Paul's department store, TSS. Macy's, and JWL. I do think these companies will continue to grow and they will go up. Actually, the path to least resistance is to go higher. Look at KSS. Um, I said to buy since November. I just underestimated how high it can continue to go. From $25, it's not $60, but I think that $50, $60, it's still go higher. People who have taken profits here are thinking that, hey, this could be a generation of people who would continue to shop and shop. And people are actually going to go back to their 2018 or 2019 highs. So that would be where about $70 or $80. Let's assume that you'll just make 20%. But what if you want to make 20% on this reopening? So there's a lot of leeway to actually make money. If the money is going to reopen, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's a department store, think about it. The demand in China alone is amazing. The consumer demand is getting seen in JD.com and it's also getting seen in e-com. People are traveling. So you will have a lot of money to meet. Go ahead and make money. On any thoughts on using this is the used cars part with JD. Unfortunately, I haven't studied this company, so I don't know how to answer this question. But I guess I'm just more of the plain old vanilla. I go for the conglomerate JD. Thank you very much. That's it. Bye-bye.